Atlas?
Well, that's to be determined right now.
Yeah.
But no, you know who didn't mess it up? YouTube, because we're live, everybody. How's it going?
Woo!
Welcome to Rick and Morty, Season 5, Interdimensional Cable, Episode 6. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, and joining me on this Soul Hackers 2 live presentation, Volume 1, is Mr. Loud Mike, Ozzy.
Pickle Oz?
I hate that you've said that because now someone will draw that, I'm sure. Like, if you just
Oh,
tweeted that right now, someone
no.
before the end of the stream is gonna, like, put your face on, like, fucking Pickle Rick now.
I think I have an edit just sitting on my phone of Nam, but he's just Pickle Rick, and I
That's
forget
information
why.
you should have kept to yourself. Speaking of someone who's not ready with a Pickle Rick version of themselves, I hope, is Gnarly.
Wait, what?
This is where you're supposed to say hi to everybody.
Oh, hi.
Also, everybody, Gnarly is decided to be as he's known for being really loud on this channel. So he's decided I'm gonna be as quiet as humanly possible. So when we all talk, we'll do our best to not talk over you.
It's
Mhm.
because It's because I'm using my old headset because Discord wouldn't recognize my new one.
Actually, while we're waiting, can you just get as uncomfortably close to your microphone as possible? And I want to see what that sounds like.
Well, I mean, okay. It's like right in front of my
Do
mouth.
do
That's not
that.
bad.
Do that
That's
the
not bad.
entire time because that sounds
Can
perfect.
you hear me? Can't you hear me like breathing and stuff?
Breathe.
No.
No, not at all. Your mic sounds perfectly fine.
Okay, because I noticed I listened to the podcast and I noticed there's a lot of me just like.
Well, that's called editing work that you're posting. That's like one of those funny things. I swear to God, when I'm not doing a podcast or I'm not editing audio, I'm like, oh, I sound fine. But then when I'm editing the wave file, I hear every.
Yeah.
I do, and it's the most infuriating thing. But no, this is a garbage live stream of us just talking about new Soul Hackers stuff, which honestly doesn't really matter that much. Also, hi everybody, we've got Molten Sky Iron, we've got Doctor, hopefully who will be here soon. Got Jay Rosart. We've got Budweiser Talkins, who
Ooh.
I just hope is just a bird made of Budweiser cans. I think that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I guess we got 5 minutes till this starts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because the last time we did one of these, it was for a 50-second trailer, which we still did an hour-long reaction to, so that's not going to stop anyone here on this channel. But we know this is at least 8.5 minutes long.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, please make this entire thing, because it's called Soul Hackers 2 Summoner's Guide, Volume 1. I'm praying with every fiber of my being, please just all be about gameplay, because I feel like every time people talk about this game, and they're like, well, the gameplay's like Persona, it's like, but we really don't know anything about the gameplay. Like, we've only seen literally split-second, like, shots of it, and then, like, moves. Because, like,
And
I just don't believe the TMS team is just copying Persona. Like, you don't make a banger battle system from TMS and then just go, let's copy Persona 5, though.
yeah, no, like, and I generally did like the presentation they did for 5. So my hope is a focus on gameplay, give us like a basic gist, maybe some like small like social stuff that's going to be going on the side. And then give us like proper character introductions and like some renders, maybe not like the main spotlight being that, but just just show us the game in a little more depth instead of just a big old highlight reel.
Gnarly, what do you want to see, and then what do you think we'll see from the next 8 minutes?
Well, it's like you guys said. I want to see gameplay, but if I had to guess, it's probably just gonna be like characters and stuff. I mean, I know they're not gonna show it, but I also want to see some of the English like voice acting.
Bro, can you
That would be
imagine?
nice.
Can you imagine the lack of respect Atlas West would get of like, hey, we're not even gonna let you reveal your own English. I mean, like, sorry, we're just gonna do it for you. I would love that, but like, that does seem like something like if E3 was a thing, whatever Jeff Keighley's Summer Games thing is. I like to imagine that this game's one big Western beat. Will Jeff Keighley at some point will show off the English dub of this, and then the trailer will end announcing the game's going to be on Game Pass. That's like the only oh my god get hype moment I can imagine this game will get in the West.
Uh-huh. They did wait until like a last second to reveal the dubcast for 5.
Dude,
So,
I remember that stream because you and me did it. Like literally, it was like as I clocked into work on a random Tuesday morning.
It was like 9 or 10 in the morning for me.
Actually, here's a good question because you and me reacted to every single live presentation for SMT5. Nearly, how many of those did you ever catch? Because those were all while you were in Korea, and they did about, I think, 5 of them, and they were always like little less than 10-minute presentations going over one specific factor. Did you ever catch any of those?
I didn't really keep up with much of the SMT5 news last year because I kind of wanted to go into it like blind.
When people would ask me why isn't Gnarly in his podcast talking about SMT5, I would just be like, guys, he's just too busy just destroying some sliz over across the ocean. He cannot cover these weeb games. Like he's got books to open, he's got legs to spread. Things are happening in the world that are not Shin Megami Tensei 5. But now things have calmed down. The return of the Midwestern saga has happened. We're post time skip Gnarly, and he's ready to react to Soul Hackers 2. Also, Gnarly, I'll tell you right now, a lot of those, you were good to skip. There were some boring ones.
Well, I heard that what people told me is that they spoiled a bunch of the story.
That's a lie. Who told you that?
I wouldn't say so. That was the big thing that I did really like in the lead up to 5 is, regardless of the quality of 5 story throughout like the whole experience, they like introduce things in very vague manners so that even if they showed stuff from across the game, it never made clear what was actually going on.
Yeah, because like remember when all 3 of us had codes? I think one of the things I told you first was just like I couldn't believe how like none of this was spoiled. Like I remember when I like, beat the first boss and I met like Goki or whatever and stuff like that. I'm like, how were there characters they'd not revealed yet?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if anything, yeah, I trust them to be good with the story. It's too early for DLC. They're going to save that for Volume 2 or 3. But I do hope, because this is about to start, last-minute predictions, they will definitely bring back the really terribly picked questions from Japanese Q&A.
Oh, please! Yeah, no, give me your, like, obscure, like... very definitely not planted Twitter questions.
Gnarly, did you ever see like the questions they would pluck for their live streams from Twitter?
No.
The first question from their first SMT5 live stream was so insultingly bad. It was like, "Can there be an easy mode DLC like a Nocturne? I would love for that to come back." I'm like, what human being was like, "Oh, I hope easy mode's DLC again." That's my number one question about this game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was DLC.
It was because that's because they wanted to announce it. It was literally like I remember we found that person's Twitter because we were so certain.
Easy mode wasn't DLC, but
safety mode is what they were referring to. That was the thing.
Well, because
we just couldn't believe a real person would ask that.
Yeah, because the issue was they were framing it as like, yeah, no, we're gonna answer like questions from the fans that you all have been wondering about the game. And every single time, with, like, I think one exception, the question was the most stupid thing I've ever read in my life. That was going straight into the worst agenda Atlas could ever pull.
Well, speaking of the homosexual agenda, the live stream's about to start. What number is on your guys' YouTube right now?
This looks like the intro for a mid-2000s, like, punk music video.
40, 39, 38... 37.
Okay, pause.
36.
Everybody pause at the 10-second mark.
Alright.
Okay, I paused it. When do I click?
Well, you're already at the 10-second mark?
No.
No, you pause at the 10-second mark, and then we go 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm at 26.
Okay, yeah. Once it's at 10 18, seconds, then you pause.
17. Alright, 13, 12, 11, 10. These openings are so
I am
ugly.
Also at 10. Hey, remember they're not as bad as they used to be. They used to be really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we all good to go? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore the.
How many times will Ringo get shot in the leg today?
Ignore the chat.
It's gonna keep happening.
Oh, also don't forget to put closed captions on.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Waifu.
She do in fact be a VTuber.
Today's stream, by the way, brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
Brought to you by, I think it's Mountain Dew.
They legitimately have a VTuber model of her, I bet, somewhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, Will the Greatest brings up a great point. They could announce something big enough that they finally drop English pre-orders tomorrow. Because those have been weirdly quiet.
That is true.
Okay.
I do like seeing the personality for the protagonist.
You mean a
I'm
personality?
hoping-
I can't wait to hear what his
Yeah.
voice sounds like.
My boy!
Yes! Thank
Finally.
you! Combat!
In turn-based, you press A to pick your attack.
The first you press the persona button. I really like how these menus look.
Also, again, shout out to the showing PS5 footage in 60 FPS.
So, I'm guessing there's no press curve.
Well, there's a stack
yeah,
thing
there's
in the
a
top.
stack thing. Let's absorb everybody.
Okay, you gotta calm.
Wait, so they're like.
Oh, so
Yeah, so all the party
whole-
members get to swap between.
The whole party members share the same stock of demons. That's interesting.
Which, oh, so they share the
They
exact
all
same.
share the exact same set of demons.
That's actually an interesting take on that.
That'll be my first video.
Hack
Okay.
sonas.
So this definitely is not just Persona.
I told you. Yo, that 16 count though. Up to
Huh.
16 demons at once.
That's really cool, actually.
I was really worried that whole summon attack was just like a pre-canned final thing. It's nice
What?
that you can change it that many times.
Spencer, why don't you summon demons in this game?
Stronger.
I can't believe they don't summon demons in Devil Summoner 3.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. Let's find out about Sabbath.
You know, like Black Sabbath.
Yeah. The animation is really nice. I like it. I like the like digitized look of everything here and like the high contrast.
Yeah, it reminds me of that animator. I forgot what his name is, but he worked on the Girl Who Let Me Time in Summer Wars.
Honestly, this seems to be taking just as much from like SMT4 Apocalypse and 5 as much as Persona, while still putting its own spin on it.
I'm just more so impressed with the different amounts of, hey, here's how you change elements and effects and everything else. It's a lot more menu heavy than they were showing before, which I'm glad.
I think this is really cool. They said the thing! It's like Devil Summoner!
That really was a Superman 4, The Quest for Hope.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go, Gnarly. Your
Render.
favorite part, the alcohol.
Yes.
Oh, I guess this means
All right, boys.
I love they're like, hey, you know that trailer we just released for him? Let's tell you more about that guy we just released a trailer for.
So yeah, this presentation is basically exactly what I expected it to be, and I'm happy.
Real talk though, thankfully they have Ringo presenting it and not the lady from last time who we were always like, did they just film these back to back? Because she's just wearing the exact same clothes every time.
Nah, get Morgana to present these just to like sell the point. Drive the point home.
Morgana Teddy reveals are always those are like how much effort, like how little effort can we put into animating something?
Yeah.
This is the most weird family tree I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We got Raven.
Are these social links?
Oh my god. Dude, what if they're called social links, but it's spelled S-O-U-L, shoal links?
social links.
Oh, good. I'm glad we remembered he's the guy who's
Devil
killed
Survivor
him.
2. What was it, like Fate things or something?
Oh god, I forgot about what they called him in Devil Survivor 2.
They didn't have the Devil Survivor 1, but they were 2. And I also forgot what they were called in TNS.
Gun.
Okay, yeah. Then I'm gonna be wondering how different will everyone's kind of playstyle be with Ringo being the commander in terms of doing the final calls. I guess everyone's big thing is gonna be their different comp styles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that is so true, Craftium. Ringo and Fig are just the two wine ants who just drink all day.
I'll accept it.
I feel like that hit way too close to home for you, Ozzy, based on that reaction. I'm just imagining the two of them go to Costco every weekend, get a horrendously large bag of wine, and just drink it for the next month.
Oh no. This is a pretty neat presentation.
You get lore, you get combat.
We get Ringo pointing.
We're almost done, though. Will they end it by announcing more pre-order merch?
Ooh.
Do you remember how often SMT5 ended with more pre-order merch news?
Yeah. Yeah, where's my Ringo bag?
Spent $300 on a Ringo figure.
I mean...
that was so awkward. I loved it. Oh my god.
I appreciate the genuine nature of that, but holy crap.
That literally looked like someone was walking her off with the analog stick. That was so funny.
I think that's what it... I'm pretty sure that was literally like a test room that they had like a green screen background. They had her do her like canned animations and then just walked her away.
I'm definitely clipping that out and just putting that on Twitter. Wow, no, not ending it with any pre-order news or anything.
This was a pretty solid presentation. I'm excited to see more of these.
We'll let the one who talked the least go first. So, Nurli, what did you think of the presentation?
It was alright.
Are you glad you stayed up past 10 p.m. to watch this on a Monday?
I guess.
I will say, I mean, like,
your enthusiasm.
I feel like we got what we needed for the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything else, like, I would have wanted to see more outside of, like, probably, like, showing off more of the command styles, but I think that that's probably going to be their plan for the next 4 months, is just going to be, okay, we showed Arrow, so now we're going to show everyone else.
Yeah, I also feel like gameplay-wise, they, like, showed a good amount. And there's kind of enough in there that, like, if you actually care enough to, like, analyze what's going on, it leaves enough there for you to read into.
Yeah, also, for both of you, I feel like now, after this, I feel very confident in then saying, okay, this does not just play like Persona. The gameplay system feels very unique. Like, because, like, even looking at it, like, what would you guys kind of compare the stacking system along with the Sabbath system to, if you had to? Because if anything, it almost reminds me of Tokyo Mirage Sessions in reverse. Whereas instead of getting as
Yeah.
high of a chain as possible, you're trying to make a chain to then basically knock it all over at once so you can make it as powerful as possible. And it makes me wonder if 16 is the max, how hard it is to get to 16. Because I feel like that can't just be something you did easily.
It seems like it seems I know people don't like the Persona comparisons, but it is distinct enough. It feels like it's kind of bringing the idea of all-out attacks, but like all-out attacks, the further you get into P5, they like don't really do a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and even when they do, like it's just kind of automatically like run in, get your attacks, you do the all-out attack, it's over. This one feels a lot more strategic. You're gradually building towards one big bang that actually means something. And I think that's friggin' awesome. And also, it scales more depending on how well you do. So I actually think that sounds like a much more interesting system.
What about you, man?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant you earlier. What else are your kind of thoughts with everything in terms of the gameplay systems? Like, are you interested of what you're seeing? Is it reminding you of anything else? I like, by the way, the little shadowy effect of when it's stacking the like black JPEGs with red eyes floating in. Like, I feel like that should look cheap, but I kind of like how it looks in terms of the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can, like, I mean, it's pretty much what Ozzy said. Like, it looks interesting. I mean, it kind of looks like it's combining like some of the others, and I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be fun either way.
I just feel very I just feel very vindicated now after this of just being like, okay, good. I'm glad to see this team is doing something interesting. I still have questions about Sabbath of like, are these effects just the same three in terms of status ailments, healing, or adding different damage buffs? Like, I'm wondering how customizable that'll be. I like kind of going back to another gameplay thing. Has there been an SMT game where all party members could use all demons? Because I can't think of
Not
another one
like
where they've shared the same
in a
demon pool.
collective pile.
Yeah.
I think that's freaking awesome.
I guess TMS doesn't count.
No, and even TMS, you weren't able to. TMS was about comboing into doing everyone else's combos, but like, and the thing I'm also wondering as well is, I'm trying to think, will that then make it harder? I wonder to like balance the game if everyone can kind of use whoever's skills and stuff, you know? Like, I wonder, like, will that just make it... Because, like, now you won't have to pick... And, I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's going to be more than 4 playable party members. Well, actually, that's actually kind of a bold thing to assume, because I feel like most of these games always have a larger cast than you would kind of expect. Like, are either of you guys expecting us to have more than these 4 playable party members?
I'm pretty sure we'll have more. But I do wonder.
There are other characters in the game. I mean, I'm kind of expecting some of them to be playable.
I do wonder how, like, I guess differently it'll be affected, though. Like, considering everyone's going to have the same pool of demons, how much each character will actually make a difference.
No, 100%.
Because this guy, they did say, specializes in ice, but... Or... Do you think it'd be akin to... Because they kind of showed that they have a variation of the, what was it? Kind of like the elemental affinities from Apocalypse in 5. If it's kind of like that, where each character has their own affinities and the demons they use are buffed up by that, that would be neat.
Yeah, definitely. And then having different, like, sort of ways of, like... Okay, and I think another big one as well is then finding new ways to incorporate how everyone's comps lead to their powers in different aspects. So that'll also be kind of interesting of like, okay, so what does this person having more of like a, like, God, I always forget whatever, the size. Like, well, I always have to remember Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, what are these things called again? Yeah, the size. So, like, everyone's guns and stuff being a little bit interesting. I'm really curious about how the Tommy Guy gun is going to kind of distinguish himself as opposed to Arrow's big boy gun outside of just ailments and like different kind of status effects. Like, I'll be curious of like, I would hope if he's a machine gun guy, because one of the things I liked about the gun system in P5, even though you never really need to use that much, and especially in vanilla P5, was, oh, if I have an SMG or an assault rifle, I'm attacking everybody.
Yeah.
Because like your point of holding this weapon isn't to aim it. your point is just to spray all of your bullets and stuff. So I would hope maybe then that'll be his thing of like spreading out and doing as much, and not as much damage as possible, but as many people getting hit and then adding weakness. Because like I would hope a good thing, kind of going back to how will you increase your stack. Like, what if you do, instead of just Zeo and getting one, if the whole party is weak to a lightning, you do a party-wide lightning attack, and then you get 4 as opposed to just one. Like, I wonder if then that'll help bring it up, because I'm like, it's clearly not going to be a thing like TMS where everyone's turns are going to be overly long. Because I think that was even one of the things that we really realized with Encore, was like, I cannot ever imagine going back to original Tokyo Mirage sessions because of how fast the assist attacks were sped up and there wasn't a skip button. And I think like that's kind of a complaint that people might want to get more into, of like, okay, how can we make these attacks very fun, good to lead and combo into each other without feeling like you're watching the same movie like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Please bring back 6 party members. Was a comment. I'm trying to remember when the last, I guess, do we count? When was the last? I know what games have 6 party members, but I'm like, I legitimately can't remember the last one that we had like release wise. Would it be Soul Hackers 3DS?
Yeah.
That's the only. I can't even think of the last like canonically released one too. Not thinking of like re-releases.
How many party members are in Eternal Punishment?
Not 6, I don't think.
Okay.
You only have well, in Persona 2 you have 5 at a time.
Yeah. But no, Rain, thank you for yeah. So it was the original Soul Hackers was the last with 6. So that is kind of. I'll say this: I don't think you'll get 6 playable party members in battle. If you did, that'd actually be pretty cool. I will say, if we do get more party members, I bet we only get 6, because I can't imagine them having any because TMS has a crazy amount of playable party members. And for the most part, they don't really need to do anything that unique. They're mostly just like, hey, what's your element, and then what can you kind of combo into. Whereas when the characters, I feel, need to be, everyone kind of has that I can do whatever you need me thing. When you add more party characters than you can hold in a party, there's always that limit of, okay, who's disposable, and then who feels like you can't get rid of them in your party without it feeling like one way or the other.
Yeah.
But
I need to actually play TMS.
And will you have to use the maximum amount of members, or will you be able to just do the game solo?
I would hope, because yeah, one of my favorite things with TMS is you could have literally one party member and make the game very unfun for yourself. But it was one of those fun challenges, like, hey, if you want to not have a bunch of people and just have like a solo run, like hypothetically that should be possible. All right, so let's put our nitpick hats on. Was there anything we feel like they should have gone over in terms of what we talked about with how Arrow plays and then how the gameplay system in general works? Were there any complaints either of you two had about like, oh, I wish we would have seen this, or I didn't like this, or whatever?
Honestly, no. Like, at most, I think it would have been nice to go over more than just Arrow. Like, maybe give like one other example of a character.
Gotta stretch it out, man. Well, here, let's go. How many months do we have left? So we'll have April, May, June, July, August. Oh my god, I hate that the 6 motif comes back. That means we have at least 5 more playable party members they could technically go over.
Woo!
It all comes full circle. Gnarly, what about you though? What's something you kind of you would have appreciated?
I mean, really have to do with the gameplay, but like, I mean, okay, so we know because they've been advertising the hell out of the Persona 5 costumes. Are there going to be any other alternate costumes?
I will say this. So yes, we do know there is. I don't think it's fair to say that they're advertising the hell out of it. I would just say they're advertising it a normal amount. Like they literally advertise it when they advertise the game and when they advertise the collector's edition. Just because it's the pre-order bonus. Like there's no way to buy the game in Japan day one and not get it. I don't mind it when it's like that. If they were promoting it as like day one DLC, that'd be scummier. But that's like you got to give someone a reason to be excited about it and kind of pick it up. So
Yeah.
I feel less grossed out by that. But costumes wise, I will say this: I doubt there is no free costumes because the devs who made this are still the only devs who have given us free costumes. Because if you remember, TMS had a bunch of free costumes that were all really really good. Like they didn't ever do. Oh, hold on, no. Oh no, hold on. My brain's broken by TMS Encore because it was all included for free. Did original Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Wii U not have free costumes? Because I know the
don't
crossovers.
think it did.
Oh my god, my mind might be broken now. Okay, I will.
Never mind. Abandon all hope.
I will
Capitalism.
I will hope beyond hope because the costumes they've shown are solid so far. The maid costume of Mary looks good. I don't know. I have hope. I have hope in this. I don't know what else they would do for free though. I know what they would do for DLC.
Isn't the last Atlas RPG that had free like costumes like P4G?
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Man, Twitter Discord is blowing up. Who's not shutting up on Discord?
And also, like, this doesn't really have much to do with the gameplay, but like, for all the footage they're showing, which version are they using? I'm guessing the PS5 version.
Presumably.
Nearly, I have to mute your group chat. I'm sorry.
Unless they're using the PC version, so they could use those like totally modded looking animations.
Yeah.
Do you guys have have any costumes that you would be like, God, I hope these are in this?
Data mining PC version, and they're gonna put Ringo in VR chat.
I mean, let's be honest. I don't think we'll make it past week 1 of the game on PC without her being in VR chat. I think that model is already getting worked on right now for a VR version.
That model's going right into SFM.
If I see a Ringo cosplayer at Anime Expo, I will give you $10.
Is that still happening this year?
They haven't canceled it yet.
That's true. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if you do Ringo right, it's got to be expensive, right? Because like you can't just like cheap out and not have like the jacket light up, right?
Yeah. You'd have to get like one of those like wire things and then put like little lights on it and stuff.
Also, don't forget her jacket also has furs, just to make your outfit as uncomfortable and hot as possible.
Well,
my gosh.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you could probably just get like a jacket and then just put the green part on it yourself. I suppose if you wanted like a cheaper but not totally pain in the ass alternative would just be to have like those like little triangle things to just have them like reflect light instead of actually light up. Because I mean, if you're outside, nobody's gonna see it anyway.
Yeah, that would probably be it. But
if you wanted to bring it to like a rave party, it would look totally sick.
A rave party would indeed make it look totally sick. The only worry though that I have would then be like, I think her outfit is one that's like so bright and everything that like I bet it looks really bad in daylight. Like, cause like remember all the pictures we've seen. Like remember when they did the little like live action reveal thing? That was even at night. And I'm like, I don't think that's an outfit that probably is like big, bright, neon yellow with sunlight. I don't think is a good combination, probably.
Yeah. Also, I have to head out for now, but this was a friggin' awesome, grand old time.
Ozzy, where can people find you? And also, please look at the last thing I just tweeted. I thought you'd appreciate it.
Okay, one sec. Yeah, I can be found at Twitter. At Revived Oziak, or just on YouTube at Oziak, if you can figure out how to spell it, which I have to clarify every single time. And yeah.
Thanks for
About
joining
it.
us. Gnarly, where can people find you?
You can find me on my channel. It's I mean, do you have a link to my channel in
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Anyone who's watching this on YouTube will have everybody's channel when they click on your name.
Go to the video description. My channel will be in there. And then you can also follow me on Twitter. It's crawling_gnarly.
Do you guys ever like think, will I ever lose the crawling or the revived in my name? Will I just go by Gnarly on Twitter?
Never.
Will I ever?
We
will I
always
ever
have to
not
be
revived?
moving.
I've actually thought about changing it to vile_gnarly.
Make it
Ooh.
edgier, because that's the reputation we need to persist. Really, like, I'm vi. Welcome to Punish Gnarly.
Oh my gosh. Also, Spencer, that tweet is art.
I forgot she waved, which made it look more
It's
awkward.
so
The
funny.
wave and the walk off is also. I want you to know, I think hard and long about my emoji choice. Woman walking, strutting off screen fit that way too perfectly.
Yeah. All right.
Someone in chat asked, when is Atlas dropping Mach and Y?
Mach and
We got
Y.
Mach and
Yes!
Mach and Y will be a Switch Pro launch exclusive, but you have to buy it from only one shop in Japan will sell it. It'll be that elusive.
Or you can get it with the dancing collection.
Oh, that's true. The pre-order bonus for the Dancing Trilogy, Mach and Y, for no reason.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Jesus.
Bye.
See you, man. I do want to bring up a thing. Jay Arthur says, is Atlas West the only one promoting this game? No Sony marketing. Yeah. Right now, there's been there's been no like cross marketing with any one company. My gut tells me, I feel like if you're smart, I feel like Microsoft should buy the Western exclusive promotions and just market the fuck out of this, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because, like, you had brought this up when you guys were talking about it a little bit earlier on your show, but I thought one of the things that, like, I know Xbox isn't known for this as a thing, but, like, you don't need to sell this as, like, it's not like Persona, it's not like Xbox owners only want Persona. Like, people just want those games on their system to begin with.
Well, I mean, the Xbox does need more JRPGs, because, like, there are a lot of JRPGs that are on, like, PS4 and PC and Switch, but not Xbox.
Mm-hmm. So I think if they got the Western rights for it, I think Microsoft could have a really easy time marketing it, even if it doesn't launch as Game Pass only. I mean, Game Pass for free. I think if they just market it as saying, "Hey guys, the best place to play this is on the Series X or on PC. Also, look, we brought Atlas games to PC and Xbox. Isn't that cool?"
Someone should tweet at Phil Spencer or ask him if he's excited for Soul Hackers 2.
I like to believe that the only reason Soul Hackers 2 is coming to Xbox is just because Phil Spencer was like watching Yakuza 8. There was some Yakuza 8 demo at Sega, and then he saw Soul Hackers 2, and he was like, how much for that? I want that on my system. It looks bright, and it looks almost green enough to be Xbox colored. And he was like, you got it. You got it, Chief. It's all yours.
Yeah. I remember in, a few years ago, someone asked him, like, what games Phil Spencer was looking forward to during the year, and he listed a bunch of games, and one of them was actually Uncharted 4, so, like, we know he plays on other consoles.
Oh yeah, he has all the systems and stuff. So, not too relieved with it there, but honestly, whoever markets it at the end of the day doesn't really matter. Like, remember, even though like Microsoft marketed Yakuza 7 basically as an Xbox launch game, that game still sold way more on PlayStation. So it's like, I don't ever look at exclusive marketing as like that's a negative. I just like to think of, oh, that's cool that company's getting money from them because they're just getting free promotion. Like the exact same way of how I liked how much free marketing Nintendo gave SMT5, because in the end it just helped SMT5 sell better worldwide.
Yeah. Yo, imagine if we got a limited edition Xbox Series X.
Bro, that's the real reason we should want them to do it. Because then they'll have a Twitter giveaway for a fucking Ringo themed Xbox Series X. That would be amazing.
Get a Series X, like, if they did that.
Like, if they'll make a Sonic and Knuckles controller that has actual fur on it, there's no way they wouldn't do this, right?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
got like it's got like the pattern on Ringo's jacket.
I hate that you gave me this idea, dude, because now I want to make a mock-up for what a like Xbox Series X Soul Hackers system would look like, because I feel like it would actually look really cool. Or at the very least, there could be some really dumb like gaming PC with a bunch of neon lights, and they just stick the Soul Hackers 2 logo with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, oh, you don't. Are there any like limited edition gaming PCs?
Yes, but they're like really. It's weird because like it's not like a system. So like custom PCs are done a lot for giveaways, but it's mostly how big and obnoxious and gross can I make your tower look. That's about it.
Yeah.
But Ryan in the chat brings up a great point. It should just be, and much like J. Arthur, it should just be a glowing yellow and purple Xbox Series X. And if you look in the top vents, you can just see like the image of Ringo's face on the inside of the fan. Oh yeah, because you know how like, there's those fans that like when they speed up, you can see an image in them. It's just that. It's a fan that only when sped up at like 100 miles an hour can you see Ringo's face creepily looking at you from the top of your Xbox.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that was it. That was our first live presentation. Thank you, everybody, for checking this out. Look forward to the podcast tomorrow. Not covering this, but I was glad we were able to chat it up. Yarly, thank you for staying up so late with me. I'm going to try and... I don't know, man. There's so many games. I don't know what I'm going to play first. Like, I could go back to Final Fantasy Origin. I could play Fire Emblem in bed. I could play Ghostwire. How far are you in Ghostwire, by the way?
Like an hour and a half.
Are you farther than when you played it at my house?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's good. And were you able to like get the settings up?
You could watch Devil Survivor 2 the animation with me so that I don't have to drink as much.
just watching it alone, just drinking every time. I hope you watch it dubbed. Are you gonna watch it dubbed or subbed?
I mean, I'm gonna watch it dubbed.
The best part, which made it really confusing, if you remember, this dub was before Record Breaker, so there wasn't an English voice cast, and the dub is a very different quality than the first one. Oh, Ryan's right. I should also be playing Elder. There's too many things I should be playing. I don't know if I have it in me to watch Devil Survivor 2 tonight, just because I then feel like I would fall asleep. And then the bad thing is, all the games I'm playing right now are like need my attention. Like I know I'm gonna get to a point in Fire Emblem when I can stop caring about the story, but I'm so early on right now. It's just all story. Like there's no like, oh, I can put this down now.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to be playing right now? 13 Sentinels.
I mean, I could just give you a PS4 copy and then you can play it tonight.
I mean, I have my PS4 copy, but I'd rather play it on Switch.
That's okay. I don't blame you. You want to get those exclusive features. Here, we'll play the guessing game. I asked this on the podcast. It's going to be the final one of the night. When codes go out for 13 Sentinels, when do you think people will be able to talk about the game? Like, when will there be a, hey, don't put anything up until this day?
Probably like the day before it comes out.
That would be very not surprising, but very disappointing with a game like that, TBH.
I mean, it's what they did with Arena Ultimax.
Yeah. Which
like,
I don't think...
I'm just looking forward to it because, like, I wanted to cover it when it came out on PS4, but I didn't get a code, so,
were you in America in September of 2020?
What?
So when the game came out in September of 2020, I forgot, were you in Korea yet, or were you still stuck in America?
No, this is after.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean it was after?
This is after I got back from Korea the first time.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, like when it was for it. But I mean, it released at a weird time.
But yeah, I mean, it came out like right before I left. But like, yeah, I mean, I got it. I think I didn't get it until like November, and that's because it was on
Black
sale.
Friday. Yep. But yeah, so I don't like that you're probably right, but you're probably right. And that, man, speak of a game that is not Not well, that's weird. 13 Sentinels is simultaneously terrible to play while doing anything else and really really good at the same time. The story stuff where you're doing visual novels is like you need full attention, but then the gameplay is so mindless and boring. It's like, yeah, just do whatever. Like even like cuz Mac's been streaming it, like he just gave up in terms of streaming the gameplay part of it. He was like, I'll just do this off stream.
How long does it take to beat?
That's a good question. Let me go to how long to beat. I want to say under 20 hours, like maybe 15. But it's been so long, I don't even remember. It's a very easy platinum. No way this is true. Is it really over 30 hours? Maybe it didn't feel like 30 hours.
I thought you beat it.
I did beat it. It's one of those games that I played it all on remote play on my Vita. Well, not all of it. I played most of it on my Vita. So I feel like the time just went by a lot faster. No, even I just double checked my PlayStation clock as well. Yeah, it said I beat it and platinumed it within around 35 hours. Wow. Do not remember that game being 30 hours long, which I guess is a testament to it. The story doesn't feel long, but there will be moments for sure where you're doing the RTS part where it definitely it grinds a little bit. How long is Fire Emblem Fates?
I think it took me like 20-something hours.
No way. Fire Emblem Fates is shorter than... Or I thought Fire Emblem games are supposed to be like really long.
Nah, they're not that long.
What is the longest Fire Emblem game, do you think?
I played it a couple of years ago. I can't remember how long it took me to play it.
Okay, now to be fair, I'm assuming we're talking about one route. Like Conquest and Birthright takes you like less than 30?
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I also played on hard, so I died a bunch of times.
How long does one route in Fire Emblem Three Houses take?
If I had to guess, probably like 50 hours.
Oh my god,
that's just a free guess. I've played it.
I know that. Yeah. How long to beat says 50 hours to beat. Is that with just one route? Damn. Beautiful Yoshi, too long. Three Houses takes too long to beat. That is insane. I don't know why. In my brain, I always thought like all Fire Emblem games were like horrendously long, but I guess Three Houses is just kind of like the outlier. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to get out of here because I've been talking for way too long today. But have a good rest of your night, man.
Alright, see ya.
See ya, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for all coming live. Thank you, Ryan. Krillcast. Dang, Krillcast. I don't know if you know this. I finally have started up Fire Emblem Three Houses. So if you ever want to talk about it, please hit me up. It's very fun. Ryan, thank you. Dude Tensei, thank you. Beautiful Yoshi, thank you. Will the Greatest, thank you. 909, J. Arthur, Molten Sky, Zeron, Anime for the Win. Let's see who else. Mr. Popo, Craftium, Doctor, and J. Roser. Thank you all so much for coming to this live. Very good to see y'all. And yes, Chris, we need to catch up. It's been too long. Goodbye, everybody.